Okay, I'm going to walk you through how to set up your file for the food illustration. So you're going to open up Illustrator. Mine is already open. Now we are going to make a new file. You're going to make a custom file. So that's where all these numbers come in. If you see on the right hand side, you have width, height, and pixels. We are going to be printing these out. I want to display them, so we are actually going to be doing CMYK. So you look down here, color mode, go to CMYK. 70 ppi is pixel per inch. That is not very high resolution. I want it to be high resolution for print, so we're going to move that up to 300 ppi. We're also going to make our artboard a square, so we'll do 1000 pixels by 1000 pixels, and that gives you a nice square format. Now I know you can't really see it over here, but if your numbers say 1000, 1000, CMYK, high 300 ppi, now the one thing I want you to change is you want 2 artboards. One artboard will be for your reference photo, and another artboard would be for your illustration itself. So when you have all of this checked, 1000, 1000 pixels, 2 artboards, don't worry about bleed. Just do CMYK, high 300 ppi, and then go ahead and hit create. Okay, now like every time, you're going to make sure that your workspace is set up. So if you want your tools, all of your tools to pop up like mine do here, you're going to go to Window, Toolbars, and you have Basic, which is just your one set of tool. I like to have more tools available, so I'm going to move it to Advanced. Now Workspace, we are drawing and painting, so we want our workspace to reflect that. You're going to go to Window, Workspace, where did my workspace go? I'm sorry, I just have to scroll up here. There you go, Workspace, Painting. If now layers, artboards, they all might be in different areas for everyone, but if you're ever confused on where it is or you can't find something, just go to Window and Artboards. Like, I'm not sure where my artboard is, but I usually like my artboard to be right next to my layers, so I can be easily organize my layers in artboard. Your layers might be here or here. Put them where you like them, as long as you know where they are. Okay, now once you have gotten this far, before we begin, we're going to save our file. So save as, save on your computer, digital media, okay, click on that folder, and I'm going to name this Food Illustration. You can call it whatever you like, as long as you know that that's your food illustration project. You're going to hit save. So now it's fine. Okay, now you have your file set up. Your file is saved. In case anything crashes, you're gonna have hopefully some kind of recovered file. Now the next step in our work is to put a reference picture in. So you're going to go to File, Place, and now I'm going to go back to my digital media folder because that's where my picture is. Your picture might be in Downloads. If it is in Download, I recommend that you put it in digital media. So this Dal Bati Churma is my reference photo. Okay, so if you do file place, it should pop up like this. It's going to be a small icon. Now wherever you click, it's going to place that picture. So I'm just going to click to see how big it is. It's not very big, but that's okay. This is not my final artwork, so I can still work with this. So I'm going to actually hold Shift and make this a little bit bigger so that it fits my artboard. Do you see that? You want to make sure the whole square is covered. Now I'm going to move this so I can make the most interesting composition. Now I have a problem, which you might also, I'm just zooming out using Control minus, that my picture is a lot bigger than my artboard. So how do you fix that? You're going to hit shortcut M or rectangle tool, and you're going to draw a rectangle the size of your artboard. Okay? If it's not, just go ahead. I know you're drawing on top of your picture, and that's okay right now. I'll show you how to fix that. So I'm just fixing my, keep clicking on the, you're gonna wait for those arrows. Okay. Alright, that looks right. So now I'm going to crop my picture to that square. How do I do that? I'm gonna go back to my black arrow, which is right here, or V for selection tool, and I'm going to click the square I just drew and the picture, both of them. If you're not sure, make sure you drag and click to select both of them. Now you're going to click right click and hit make clipping mask. What that does is it crops the picture, but without actually getting rid of the edges of the picture, and I'll show you what that means. If I double click, that picture is still there. I can move it and I can edit it and play around with it. So I realize I kind of want more of my dal, which is the lentils right there, and less of this powder stuff on the left, okay, because that is actually going to be a little bit difficult, and also I love the onions and the limes, so I'm going to make sure that is part of my picture. So now I think this is going to be my final one. So how I move it, if I don't double click, what's going to happen is, right now I'm in isolation mode, so it's letting me move, but I want you to see what would happen if it wasn't, okay? Otherwise you'll just be moving this, okay? So if you are trying to move your picture around, double click, and then right here it kind of tells you if you're in the clip group. And once you're in the clip group, you can make your picture smaller, bigger, move it around. I like my picture to be right there. I'm going to leave it right there. And I think I am done for this part. Now, before we move on, I want to talk about our artboard. So here is your layer 1. Now I want you to call your layer 1 reference photo. Once you're happy with the position of your reference photo, you can lock this layer. This is important because now when you go to draw on top of this, you're not going to accidentally click on it. It's not going to be annoying for you. It's like nothing is there and you can start drawing. You're going to have to add a new layer. Now this new layer is where you can start naming things. So I know that my new layer will be a background right here, like this area. I can choose to leave it plain or have the napkin in there. That's a last minute decision, but that's my first layer. This will be my second layer. So I'm gonna name this layer background and add a layer for my plate. And then on top of the plate, I'm going to make a layer for my, actually I see that the onions are next, and then these little round biscuit-like things are called batis. So I'm going to actually have the bati next, bati, and I'm going to make a new layer, and you can move your layers around. So here's my bati, and then I will do one for onions. And you should have this information from your sketches, right? And then I'll have one for my green peppers. And lime. Let's see. This stuff, the powder stuff on the left, is called churma. I'm actually not sure that I'm going to do the churma just as is. I may replace it. So churma/other. This is where you can use your creative license and change things around. And finally, I'm going to do the bowl. And the soup in the bowl is known as dal, so I'm going to put dal. And then my last one is going to be the cilantro on top. Okay? So now this is for me, but for you, you can break down your layers and you're going to name them. So when we are drawing, we have to be conscious that we're drawing on the right layer. What it does is if you mess up on just the plate or you mess up on just the onions, it doesn't affect the rest of your drawing. And working in layer is crucial in digital art. It's the whole point of it. It makes your work editable, so it's important that you do that. Alrighty, best of luck.